Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome back and good evening to all of you. My name is Rohit Golani and I'm a chartered accountant. We are back again with our networking series, part 2. Yesterday's session was really awesome and full of learning, but it's your feedback that will make it a success. Though such a good effort was put by CA Raksha Agarwalji, we want to hear from you also. So please let us know what were your learnings and the key takeaways from our last webinar. Namaste, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
I hope all our attendees are doing good. Okay, sir. Okay. So, we are always open for your recommendations. So, for our mutual and combined benefit. So, to all the participants, keep using the chat box for the mutual benefit of all of us. I can see that attendees are sharp on time. All our professionals are sharp again. So that's really appreciable in a sense that professionals are aware and ready to adapt into the fast changing professional scenario of networking and alliances. So we'll be waiting for a minute or so for our other family members to join as well. Then we can go ahead with this webinar of today. So Ranjit ji is saying that he is very fine. That's really good to know. I hope every of our participants are also fine and doing healthy at your home. Okay. So for advancement and learning of our professionals, we recently organized a webinar on income tax returns. So to all the professionals who are really keen to know about the changes that have come into the income tax return can easily go and watch it on our Optotax YouTube channel. As you all know that income tax due dates are reaching soon. So you can go and watch it as per your convenience. It is easily available on our Optotax YouTube channel. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up and also don't forget to hit the bell icon for knowledgeable updates. Ravi Kumar ji, आपने webinar कल का miss किया, I guess, right? So not an issue. ये जब web series खत्म हो जाएगी after 3 sessions of this series, then all the 3 webinars will be posted. So we'll keep you updated, not an issue. Please stay connected with us. To all the attendees who were not able to attend or missed yesterday's webinar, there is not an issue. We have got your back. So don't worry, stay with us. Okay, so now is the time to kick off session 2 of 3-day series, which is brought to you by Optotax. I believe that many of the professionals are already using Optotax, but for those who are new to us, we are a technology and knowledge platform. And in our 3 years of journey, we have always tried to make your GST experiences seamless and hassle-free in your offices. It is engineered for your empowerment and benefit. Optotax is India's #1 and biggest GST platform. We are now a family of 50,000 tax professionals who trust Optotax for their 1 million plus clients. So I believe there is no harm giving it a try as it is totally free and efficient. Coming back to today's topic, which is going to evolve the practicing pattern in CA profession and will also help CA firms securing recognition from appointing authorities and government organizations. It is evolution of CA firms networking to expand your practices. And our faculty for today is CA Devendra Pandey. Devendra ji really has fascinating career and he is currently designated partner of BMPS and Company LLP. He has vast working experience in various industries like banking, NGO, IT, manufacturing, construction, trading, and services, and it goes on. So he has vast experience in transactional audits under insolvency and bankruptcy code and handling concurrent audit of PSU and private banks. He has also represented before income tax authorities, service tax authorities, and GST authorities. His academic achievements include diploma in information system audit. He has a certificate in forensic audit and fraud detection. He also secured AI 47 in intermediate examinations. He also has immense knowledge in the area of public speaking and skill enhancement and has expertise in assurance and representational areas. So it is such a great pleasure to have such an eminent and dynamic personality like you with us today, sir. I and our viewers are really, really excited to hear from you because you are such an experienced speaker. So we are really overwhelmed and lucky that we get this opportunity to interact with you today. So thank you. Thank you for being part of this webinar today, sir. Now, I won't take much of your time and I'll straightforward pass it on to you for the opening remarks about this webinar. So what do you, Devendra?
Thanks a lot, Rohit, for such a nice introduction of mine, and I really appreciate the efforts of Optotex and the team who choose this topic to be deliberated in 3 days. And this is a new topic. I think networking guidelines are there in 2005 also, and it's revised in 2011. But now it's revised again because the dynamics of the practice have changed a lot. So in today's scenario, practice is very difficult for the small and medium practitioners. You know, it's not cost effective nowadays because you need technology, you need a team, you need a skilled manpower also, you need so many things to be in line, to be a successful, to thrive on this path. Because nowadays I see a lot of practitioners are coming into the practice, and a lot of practitioners have decided to move on to job also, because the practice is never an easy task for the sole proprietorship or for the smaller firm. So there comes the role of networking guidelines. Or networking guidelines, you can create a network, or you can create an alliance to a large structure. You can move to a large structure and show the stakeholder that we are a team of so many of dynamic professionals, you know, from different areas, and that will help all of the team or all of the member firms of the alliance. So this is all about, I will be taking a session on how to create a network, because it's not an easy task till yet. Because from institute they have prescribed some forms, but they are also in the process of doing it online, or SSP portal will be enabled soon. uh, let's see what's in the institute's code. So we have to wait for some time, but till the time come, we need to understand the guidelines, what we need to keep in mind while creating a network, what we keep in mind to decide bylaws, MOUs, and these are very important topics to be covered in today's seminar. I think let's start, Rohit, or wait for. Can I start my
I
presentation?
think we can start, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
we
So
can go ahead with the presentation.
just a minute. I'm sharing my PPT also.
Okay.
I think my PPT is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir, it is visible and very clear.
Okay. So creating a network form. Let me introduce myself. As Rohit has already gave my introduction. So I'm Devendra Pandey, practicing chartered accountant in practice since more than 8 years now. So let's begin my presentation with the background that why we need networking. So government views through the PM were uh, uh, there were a CA function held in Delhi in 2007, and where our honorable PM has said that we need 100 big Indian firms. Big Indian firms, that means not big fours, because they are not Indian firms. They are basically constituents of Indian firm, but they are not Indian firms. So PM said that we need 100 big firm to move to become a 5 trillion economy. And uh, his views or his vision we are imparting through the networking guidelines, how we can use networking to be a larger CA firm or larger network so that the growth is visible. Networking is generally considered, this is the research made by council before the changes in the networking guidelines. They conducted research on the current scenario of Indian CA practice. So networking is generally considered as the most effective platform for capacity building. This is the views of the institute when they were discussing to review the networking guidelines. It facilitates multi-locational presence of the firm, something strengthening partnership and enhance functioning of the CA firm. Though members are at liberty to adopt any form of practice as they choose, it is overwhelmingly felt that to see exponential growth of one's practice, network is one of the preferred choices. So they have conducted this research on some Indian firms and found that uh, most of the CA firms preferred networking. At that time, they were in the informal networking practices. And today, even today also, most of the CA firms are practicing in informal networking. So it is seen that the Indian firms that have ventured into newer areas of practice or have developed expertise or specialization or have network and formed a larger structure have found success. It means big firms have found success and have been able to scale up. To make networking popular, ICAI revised networking guidelines, and the new networking guidelines are effective from 9th February of 2021. So they conducted research on Indian CA firms that the current scenario of Indian CA practice. So they have found that majority CA firms are small size. Out of around 75,000 CA firms, more than 50,000 CA firms are proprietorship. It means they are managed by single chartered accountant. So one is this. Second is a large number of firms have confined practice to audit and taxation. They are not known to do newer areas of practice. So they are confined to audit and taxation practice. Many firms have audit allotted through empanelment process. So there is a process called MEF, a multi-purpose empanelment form, which is issued by ICAI and filled up by the CA firm. And some bank audits are allotted and concurrent audits are allotted through this. And many firms have limited geographical presence. Most of the firms have one offices or two offices in limited locations. Members have attachment with their firm name and do not want to go for merger or network due to fear of loss of identity. So smaller firms are reluctant to form a merger or network because they are attached to their firm name, so they won't go for mergers or network. A lot of firms have limited technology, standard checklist, and skilled manpower will be added. So in alliance model and network, in alliance model, a suffix affiliate is allowed, and network model and lead firm model and networks is allowed. So contents required in Form A and Form A are similar, no change in that. Names and member forms with FRN, office address, contact details, and in addition to all the information in the form, one authorization letter from each of the member firm will be required for the signing partner. Each member firm, one partner from each member firm will sign the name approval form. So authorization letter will be required for the signing partner. Now registration form B is applicable to alliance model and network model, and form BB will be applicable to lead firm model. Contents required: names and address of network and alliance, which was approved by the Form A or Form AA. Names and address of member firm with FRN. Name approval letter will be attached to this form. Date of formation and copy of agreement, bylaws, MOUs. There may be different names for this agreement. Someone may call it bylaws, someone may call it MOUs, and someone may call it agreement. So a copy of the agreement, bylaws, MOUs will be required. If you are choosing a lead form model, so in lead form model, you may have two agreement. One is bylaws and second is internal agreement in which lead form is chosen. So copy of the same will be required to be submitted with the council or institute. Registration number will be awarded by the ICAI. In case of alliance, there will be alliance registration number. In case of network model and lead form model, there will be network registration number. So after the registration, the network will become a registered network with the ICAI, will be having a separate identity. So if there is a change in later stages, some firm wants to exit or some firm wants to enter, then Form C in case of alliance model and network model, and Form CC in case of lead form model will be required to be submitted with the institute. Contents are name and address, ARN and NRN, names and address of member firm with FRN, entry exit detail, the detail of the firm who is entering to the network, or details of the firm who wants to exit the network, and date of agreement. Copy of authorization in favor of signing partners will be required with the Form C. So name guidelines, I already told you about this. Name guidelines are similar to what we have seen in partnership firm name approval, CA firm name approval. So name approval will be subject to availability of proposed name. Name of alliance should resemble name of member firm or a combination of their acronym. Alliance should not bear the name of god, goddess, deity on which has no relationship with name of member firm. Descriptive name will not be allowed. Names which smack of publicity will not be allowed. Like for example, Mittal and Associate and Gupta and Associate wants to form a network. So I may choose M from Mittal and G from Gupta, MG and affiliates, or NG and networks. These names will be allowed subject to the availability of name. If someone has already registered a network with the same name, the name will not be allowed. So name will be allowed subject to the availability, but with the acronym of the names of the members firm. Till now, the process is offline. It means you have to file physical form, or you have to file all the documents, authorization letter with the form. But Institute is in the process to make SSP live in the coming month. So if you want to create a network, you will simply file Form A from the SSP portal, and all the member firm will authorize the form through OTP verification, like same is happening with the CA form creation. So network will be created from SSP portal very soon. So these documents and physical copies will be redundant very soon. So now we comes to most important part, network agreement or networking agreement or internal integration agreement. These 2 or 3 terms I am using are the same. One you may have a two agreement. One is internal agreement and one is for bylaws. So you need to while preparing a network agreement, you need to remember these things. These are the guidelines of the institute also, that these contents should be present in the internal agreement or internal integration agreement. First is appointment of a managing committee from among the managing partners of the member firm of the network, and the terms and conditions under which it should function. The minimum and maximum number of members of the managing committee shall also be agreed upon. These are all bylaws. You need to decide on the governing body or managing committee, you may call it. So from like for example, you may write this that each one member from each of the member firm, one partner or one member from the each of the member firm will form the managing committee. Or you may write this that five of the chosen one, five of the selected partners will form a managing committee. So it will be decided and mutually agreed with the member firm. So second point is administration of the network. Who will handle the administration, because it's a very difficult task to lead a network. So you have to decide all the aspects of administration of the network. Contribution of membership fees, because running a network is not a free of cost activity. So you need some funds for development of tools, development of website, and uh, participating in a tender. So you need some funds. So you need to decide membership fees on the basis of number of partner in a CA firm, or number of uh, number of locations they are present. So you may decide it mutually. There are 3 4 factors which you can keep in mind while preparing, while finalizing the membership fees, and identifying a partner of any of the member firm. So one partner should be responsible for the overall administration. There will not be any 2 or 3 which will be administering the network, entire network. So you need to finalize one, or one partner has to take the lead to administer the network. Dispute settlement procedures through arbitration and reconciliation. This is already there in partnership deeds and various other deeds, joint venture deeds also. So this clause must be there in internal agreement. Development of training material for members. So when you are forming a network, you need that all the networking firm follow the same principle or same guidelines, same standard checklist. So you need to develop a training material so that all the member firm can be trained in the same set of standards. So this is also a very important point. Development and maintenance of databases relevant for different types of assignment. So you need to keep the work related papers or database, so that there should not be any ambiguity about the assignments and other work. There should be a digital library all can refer to. Appointment of a technical director to whom references can be made, because there will be a situation where you need an expert advice of a member. So a technical director should be there, uh, which will guide the network on the difficult or critical or complex very purpose of the network is that you are connected to everyone. So you need software and tools. Nowadays, without digital tools or software, you can't survive. Manual work are gone. So you need to develop some software and tools for the entire network. Resource sharing arrangements. So referral practices, or you can say sharing, revenue sharing agreement. You can uh, prescribed by the institute. So there are some benefits of networking. I think we can skip that, but like cost sharing, knowledge sharing, guidance and training, common branding and marketing effort, referral practices, common work procedure, best practices, common IT infrastructure, hardware and software, sharing of methodology, practices and strategies. This is most important. If a good firm wants to create a network and some smaller firms are member, then the practice of that uh, good firm, or you can say uh, more experienced CA firm will be given to those joining, or those joiners, or those members who are new to the practice. So they will have a standard checklist and methodology to qualitatively complete an assignment. Resource sharing is another benefit. Breaking the barriers. Wider reach and presence is the goal of networking. So ICAI will make representation before CAG, RBI, and other PSUs to recognize network for a separate empanelment. Till now, or currently, empanelment is empanelment is open for only CA firms. So network can't take empanelment or network, or if we somehow create a larger network, we will not get any credit in CAG, RBI, and other PSU audit. So ICAI will represent before these authorities to somehow uh, get the credit of these networks. So we need to wait for the same. Some of the limitations are listed in this slide. You can take these. No separate empanelment because network is not recognized by PSU, RBI as the CA form. So this will not be given. Empanelment will not be given to the network. Higher expectations from smaller firms. So smaller firm will have a higher expectation of the network, but network will give fruits only after 2-3 years of togetherness. Administration and other costs. Difficult to adopt uniformity because of different practices. As I said, if you are creating a network, you need a unanimous, or you need to have a uniformity in your practices. But it will be difficult for all the members. For Companies Act restriction, a CA firm cannot hold an auditor's position for more than 5 years, or in case of far more than 10 years in a same company. This restriction will be applied to overall network. So any of the member from the network cannot take statutory audit of a company in which other member firm is the auditor or was the auditor for more than 10 years. Restriction on advertisement as per ICAI guidelines. This is same as on CA firm. CA firm advertisement restrictions are there in the CA form also. So networking will also have the same restriction. Initially, tangible benefit not be visible. So as I said, network will take 2-3 years to fully give the fully started to give the result. So tangible benefit in the initial year will not be visible. Conflict may arise while forming bylaws. So bylaws is a very technical aspect of this networking. There may be conflicts among the members in deciding fees, in deciding managing partner, in deciding administration. So this is also a challenge. So this is also a research conducted by the institute that most Indian firms who have tried networking have had wrong expectations that client will be referred, work shared, geographical demarcation, etc. That's why networking has not been explored much. As per ICAI data, there are 100 networks registered as on date of new guidelines. But ICAI have not collected that data or not maintained that data in a separate portal. So we don't have the information right now. But as per ICAI, there are around 100 networks already registered before these guidelines came into the effect. So some of the council guidelines while creating a network. Any firm of chartered accountant can become a part of any one alliance or any one network if it intends to become part of one alliance. It cannot become part of a network and vice versa. So one firm can be a member of only one alliance or a network. If the firm wants to become a member of other network or other alliance, then that firm need to resign or need to retire from the existing alliance or existing network. alliance network will be permitted as joint ventures for specific assignments. So this is also a benefit that alliance and network will be permitted as joint ventures. Documents such as deeds, MOUs, forms can be signed by the managing partner of each of the member firm and need not be signed by all partners. So one member from each of the firm can be the signing partner in the network. Only firm and LLP can become member firm. So individual practitioner who have not applied for the firm registration number cannot become a member in a alliance or network. Proprietorship firm can become a member in alliance or a network. Every agreement, bylaws, MOUs, by whatever name called, must be filed with the ICI, without which registration will not be given. Any agreement, any bylaws, or you may call it by any name, you must submit with the ICAI. The legal status of Alliance Network can be that of a AOP as recognized by tax laws. Alliance Network may open bank account in its own name, obtain PAN and GST registration. This is a restriction. So till now, only AOP structure is allowed to be formed for network or alliance. So no partnership allowed and no LLPs are allowed. In all professional stationery, the member firm can mention that they are member firm of so and so. Firms are part of network. So we can show it in the visiting cards, letterheads, websites also. So we can show it in all the stationery and digital and our websites also, that we are the member of this alliance or network. Alliance network can have website of its own. Appropriate guidelines will be prepared by ethical standard board. So till now, we can assume that the guidelines applicable to CA firm's website will be applicable to the network website also. But network website must have the link of all the members' website. Alliance network can take up non-attest assignment in its own name if work is so assigned. So basically, network is created for non-attestation functions, non-audit assignments. So member firm can take in its own name or in its network's name. There will not be any problem. Rotation of audit among the constituent firm. This I already discussed. Section 144 restrictions will be there. If any entity, section 144 restriction will be there. If any entity does not belong to network, it should not give the appearance that it belongs to a network. So we are used to it. Some firms are showing that they are the associate of this firm, they are the associate of that firm. This is not allowed. So if you want to advertise like this, that we are the partner, or we are the network, or we are the alliance, you should have a registered alliance or a network with the ICI. Firms are allowed simultaneously to perform branch audits or concurrent audits. These questions I get from so many members, that whether a firm which is doing a concurrent audit and other member firm of a net or the same network can do the concurrent audit of the same bank, but a different branch. From the guidelines, it appears that they can do simultaneous concurrent audit of two different branches. So here are some points to ponder. Currently, as I told you, that only AOP structure is allowed, but a lot of corporates doesn't recognize AOP as a structure. So a network can be formed as a partnership firm or LLP. This question is very important. And till today, the answer is no. A network can be formed. A network cannot be formed as partnership firm or LLP. But in previous guidelines, ICAI or council has allowed that network can be formed as partnership firm or LLP. So in new guidelines, they are not allowing network to be formed as firms or partnership. Firms or LLP. So we need to have a clarification from the institute that why these are not allowed, because corporates will not recognize AOP, entry and exit barrier, in network model. So in network model, there is an internal integration agreement. So entry and exit will become somewhat difficult. So some network may mention this, that every firm which enters the network will not leave the network before 3 years. So this will be somewhat difficult for the smaller firms. So this point need to be discussed in detail with the all member firms. Administration of the network. This will be a very key element in the networking or alliance, because administration is not easy. Different members will be uh, uh, located in different locations. So managing the same will be somewhat difficult. And fourth is, why not merger? When we are entering into a networking, why not we go for the merger? So as I told you earlier in my first slide, that council or institute has done the research on smaller firms. Smaller firms are somewhat reluctant to go for the merger, because the loss of identities, the loss of goodwill, client will be informed that we are merging, name will not remain same, name will be changed. So there are a lot of hesitation among the smaller firm to go for merger. So networking can be a good step to start with. You enter into a network for 2 3 years, you will understand the concept of uh, growing together or keeping together. So when you have the confidence that you can work together, then you can choose any network firm or outside the network firm to form a merger. So networking can be a first step towards the merger, because there are two ways by which a CA firm can grow. One is upskilling, and second is upscaling. Upscaling is you need to have a skilled staff, you need to have a different skills, or you can update your skills. Like for valuation, you can do course and you can start practicing valuation. First is this: you you can upscale by forming a network, forming a merger, increase your team, increase your area of operations, increase your geographical locations. So by two methods, upskilling and upscaling, you can definitely grow, and networking can play a very important role in this. So we have discussed about networks and networking as per revised guidelines issued by ICI. We have not covered technical aspect related to process of formation of network and drafting of internal agreement. I have not discussed here the drafting of internal agreement, but I have uh, given a gist of important points which needs to be taken care of when drafting an internal agreement. This presentation is only for information purpose. We hope the same will be beneficial for a lot of CA firms. Okay, then you can download the resource from this link. So these are the total or complete guidelines issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. Any question, any valuable suggestion, please feel free to contact the undersigned. So I'm completing my presentation here. Thanks for the active participation, and I am now giving the dice to the Rohit.
Thank you so much, Devenji. It was such a knowledgeable session, full of learning, and obviously it was very nicely and perfectly executed. So obviously there will be so many beneficiaries from today's webinar. I hope so. And I also hope that, as you mentioned, said by Henry Ford, our professionals will be working together for the mutual success. So as we have already seen that there are so many benefits of network firms, so why not take advantage of it? So, right, professionals, I hope many of you will be considering this model of forming a network and alliance, and definitely will reap out some of the benefits from these knowledgeable sessions, which our faculties are working so hard to prepare. So thank you so much once again, Devenji, for this intellectual session. To all the participants who missed today's webinar, you can go and watch it on our Optodex YouTube channel, though it will be uploaded after all the 3 sessions of this webinar gets completed. So hold on, we'll be posting these on our Optodex YouTube channel. So, and yes, we'll also try that as Tilakji is asking for the PPTs. So we'll also try that PPTs for these sessions will be provided. So we'll try our best, not an issue with that. Just stay connected with us. Hold on. Keep using Optodex. Be safe. Adhere to social distancing. Let's beat Corona together. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye and good night. Thank you, Devenji.
Thank you, Rohit. Thanks to Optodex team